priority on shutting down Jackie on this gyro. I think they also understand that the safe lane for Boom is like a super core part of their game.
I mean, why? Maybe talk to me a bit about this, because I understand it's like a fundamental concept in Dota, the range plus melee situation. You want good balance. But what's so bad about this double range offlane? I'm looking at Dazzle, I'm looking at Willow. These guys, like you said, have a ton of kill threat. Like, why aren't they running this more?
I don't think it's bad in any way. It's just nicer to have a body, you know? Like, it's easy to play that way. I mean, obviously in this lane, Crit can kind of body. And Dazzle has heal, right? So it kind of negates a lot of that. I also feel like conceptually, as one damage dealer, you need a hero that kind of goes in for you. And that usually is a melee hero, right?
I guess so, Amar. No one to go in for him for now. Now, doing a lot of damage. Come out with the bait on the Shadow Wave. Zhao still has to try and look, but will draw first blood on him. The Muerta drops first, but those flat cannon just shots. I think it must have been the last one from Jackie. Able to find that poor little Dazzle in the tree line, trying to juke away. Good try there from Amar, but still ends up going down.
Another series of Dazzle, another missed Shadow Wave causing first blood. But this time, Chris the one that gets it first, so not a big deal.
Still early doors here, but we're already seeing the pressure that the tiny AA can put out. Tim's basically losing almost all his HP. We'll have a nice Lotus to pep himself back up, as Jabs still seems to be the iron wall in this lane that they can't run through for now. Maybe they'll have an opportunity closer to daytime, the 5 minutes.
I'm not running through him, but he's only 6 CS. He's kind of poor too. I guess it's like all the wave shenanigans. No one's really getting a lot of farm up here. Mid lane is expected little farm fest between both Sand King and Coddle.
While we have a bit of time here, I do want to talk about the whole Tormentor debacle, right? Because people are picking Radiant. You know, there's probably something to do with timings and the Roche spawn location. But I think one of the other reasons is that on Radiant at the 15-minute mark, if you're able to preserve your tier 1 tower, you have a very nice place to set up on all that grab. Zhao, if he gets set up, will just go down in the bot lane.
That was
Also
so much damage, actually.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage.
But before I answer your question,
yeah.
Actually, no, let me answer your question first. What was your question, Mike?
Okay, so I was about to say that we saw some teams in the initial stages of this tournament, when they lost out in terms of priority and their opponents would pick Radiant, they get dire and they reverse that advantage by picking the Night Stalker, because with Night Rain, it basically swaps the Tormentor spawn location, right? So suddenly you're the one with the advantageous Tormentor spawn location. It comes up in daytime, sure, but then it's in a position where your Night Stalker can set up on. But this time around, Boom are the ones who kind of have to snap it. Is this a bit of like mind games going on? Because how are they going to force this tier 1 top? I don't see how they actually get that tower. No one really hits the objectives well.
Right, my honest opinion is that when teams pick Night Stalker, they're not picking it for this Tormentor in particular. Okay. I think it's just something that's part of the game. Although I do think it has impact, like, strategically. Because I feel like in this patch right now, like, your winning lane is usually the safe lane, right? You see the offlaners, they are in a more suffer, recovery, probably go back to the jungle at some point kind of mode. And if you're able to play through your winning lane until 15 minutes, usually your tier 1 will be there, which is a pretty advantageous thing to have in this Tormentor fight. But it's also late enough in the game that you might not actually care too much, right? Like, even if you win your safe lane at 15 minutes, I think you won't necessarily still be down there.
Bro, yeah.
It's Marine, dude.
We knew this was going to happen, right? All these shenanigans with pulling the wave, farming the enemy jungle. I think this is really smart too, because he's using his downtime where he knows the wave is going to be blasted anyway. He comes into this jungle area that Amel probably wants to head back to. Scouts out that there are no stacks. And if there are stacks, he's just going to clear them, right? He's going to take that away. So a lot of the economical gain that this Kotal wants to have kind of denied early on. Level 6 immediate TP, but you have no way of stopping this escape. Okay, Crit cancels the TP for himself.
Nah, he got this shot.
Oh, I must have missed that. That's my bad. Yeah. Okay.
It was a quick one.
Just a little hip shot situation. Okay.
Typical Coddle. Level 6 earn TP somewhere. Some hero dies. Such is life. Incredible. Except his death. Lucky that's not the Dazzle. Oh, Marine's TPing.
I want to defend. I mean, realistically, he can just sandstorm in front of here, right? And they can't really push him away.
He has the best anti-coddle rune too. The illusion.
True.
He's able to remove
What is
solar
solar
bind
bind?
and earn, yeah. Can't dodge my forehead though.
Okay, relax. We're not even looking at it anymore. I'm pretty sure people forgot about it. Why do you have to remind them?
No harm like self-harm.
That's true.
So,
Keep in mind, just for legal purposes, that's not 343 advocating for anything.
that's right, guys.
7 minutes here. Wisdom Shrines. Sims is in position, which means the AA can't step up all willy-nilly. Jab's just kind of losing out big time in this top lane here. I thought this Night Stalker was going to be a bit more of a factor, but kind of being pushed back. He's not really doing the best in terms of CS. Still far away from the level 6, so even if they try and set up a move here, might not work out, but if they bring the numbers, could just be enough. Burst down Skeeter, who's in a very compromising position. Nice rotation, but that's basically 5 members of Boom coming up here.
Yeah, numbers were brought, Mike. You called it. It's a big kill on Skeeter, but I will say he is this kind of him, right? Like he knows he needs to pressure down here. He is in the advantageous lane. Maybe he could have avoided death, but Boom, really fast to react. Amar is joining this. What's happening
What's he
here?
doing up here? I guess Malreen's been sitting in this lane, so he doesn't really have anywhere to go.
This kind of lane swap, Marine able to abuse the bottom lane and the camps a bit more than the desert. I think this kind of makes sense. Amar also positioning a bit more towards the top side instead, in case Boom get any ideas. I like this actually.
Yeah,
Pretty
and
unorthodox.
Dazzle is a very good stack farmer with that Poison Bloom facet. He can just completely milk the jungle while everybody else on Falcons is getting their levels right. They're giving space to Snaking, get that level 6. Once they get all of that up, they can attempt for a play. I mean, one Burrow Strike from Malreen, you get the Ice Blast on top of that. That's a dead hero on Boom.
It's indeed a dead hero on Boom. Look at his tanking dagger.
He's just dead here. Hey, he has to basically pop down attention if he wants to escape, but he doesn't even bother. He's going to go down. Jabs. Taking a tumble in the top lane. Nice little setup there from Amar.
Giving their supports levels. I think this is really nice by Falcons actually. This is like the most efficient way for them to play the map. Because they want this Willow and AA6, right? It's like a big part of their damage along with the Sand King dagger. I'm pretty impressed by this. There's some AY effect, I want to say.
And this is no secret for Falcons, right? It's one of the big things that made them such a strong team, even in the previous game, was the fact that they're so good at splitting the map and getting EXP gold. More often than not, you see Crit and Snaking just having a lot more gold than the opponent supports, and just how efficiently they use the different locations on the map. It's always been something that they've been great at, and coming out here when they need it most. Elimination game. And I know. Yeah, everyone's looking at this, they're saying, okay, you know, that game 1, bit of a fluke. Bit of an intro boys situation. But if Boom can even tap into any semblance of that, I think we're gonna have ourselves an even match. It's just that game number 2 seems to have disjointed them a little bit. I know, at least for both of us, I don't know how the audience is feeling about it, but we're not entirely convinced by this gyro. I wasn't convinced by the Medusa. Now with this pick, it's feeling a bit awkward. They need to play fast, but maybe it's more of a 15-25 minute timing they're looking towards.
I'm sorry, but we need a level check right now because Jack is level 6.
Yeah.
Close to 7, right? He has like 2 points in Rocket Barrage because of the lane too. So farming is, even though it's top of the net worth, it is kind of slowed down from what we would normally see come out from Gyro. Also, I think Falcon's been doing a really good job of just dodging this coddle, right? Like Armel's had this vessel for a good maybe 1 or 2 minutes now, and there's just no one really to find.
Nice little Ricky escape. Battling out in the mid lane a little bit. The blast gonna do quite a significant amount of damage to Snaking, but they were trying to focus down on Ma. A split priority there. Falcons able to walk away, and I gotta say, I feel like as long as I can keep saying that, as long as I can keep saying that Falcons walk away, I think Falcons are happy. Will set up in the top lane. Jams was looking for an angle. He'll be the one aggressed upon. He's in way too deep. There's so much magic damage and too many members of Falcons. They swoop in and take out the Night Stalker. Now, the setup there onto Amar. They see his real body, but really have the damage. The Graveyard himself, he's fine. The blast comes through. It's not going to be enough. And they still can't take down Amar. The lingering damage will finally do him in, but it comes at such a huge cost. 3 members of Boom going down there. The perfect setup from Falcons.
Yeah, both surprised dying. Malreen's dagger reveal. And now as Boom, you know, with the heroes they got, like, I don't want to count them out, it's 11 minutes in, but I feel like their draft is meant to be doing something and running people over at this point, you know. You have this poor Night Stalker, you have Call of a Vessel. If you're losing fights now, like, what really is your timing? Don't mean to be a downer, but it's looking kind of grim to me right now for Boom Esports.
Still early. Mr. Gary Onko wouldn't be too pleased to hear you say that, although I'm sure he would agree. He knows what's up. It's a little bit tough. You pick the Caudal, you ain't got any pace to you. You ask for a level check, I'll tell you what right now, Malrine is level 11. He's 2 levels higher than anybody else in the game right now. Just had a completely free time on this Sand King. I don't know whether this Caudal strategy is going to bear them any fruit. They're still trying to set up here. Look for some sort of play with Dark Ascension, but again, look at Falcons. They just TP'd in advance. They know this is coming. I'm not sure whether they spotted Malrine, but look at how hesitant they are. They know that a counteract, blink stun, it could just ruin their whole day.
No Vessel charges on Caudal as well. Jeb's gonna hunt.
Oh, gets caught here. Try to reverse the pressure onto Crit down here in the bot lane, but they can't even get there. They're trying to chase down on the Dark Willow. No one coming to save him. They will at least find something for Jack Boys.
That's your mid for the +4 though. Yeah, not sure if you want that trade. I guess the upside for Boom is that Armel has a Vessel charge now because he used both, right? Before his death. So maybe they'll make use of it somehow. But Falcon is more than happy to just trade map. Boom though, look like they aren't. They're setting up here.
Tim's just keeping out of where he thinks it might be a sentry. Body blocking up Snake. I'm sure Snake knows that someone's on him.
Yeah, that's the ping. Like, what's up? Awkward game for Boom right now. Both teams still looking at each other now, really.
Silence up. Need a way to keep him in the silence though. Ice Blast covering him for now. He still doesn't manage to get the Brow Strike off. Snake King with a hits up TP. Deadshot was used this time.
Wanted to go for a cute play to kind of kill someone at the shrine maybe, but Boom just ready for it. So not knowing that Tims was just scouting them out the whole time. A bit of life for Boom.
It's a lot of EXP as well. He's very high level on that Clan King. Nice little dose of EXP for all these Boom heroes. I guess the one saving grace is the fact that Jack Boys, he is farming up a Storm on this Gyro. That's kind of what you expect. He's not gone for the Axe Rush just yet. Went for the early Crystallis so that he could apply some physical damage as well. Knows that the team needs all the help it can get.
Smoke up. Amar has the eggs.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Gonna try and look for a follow-up here. Start getting ready for the Tormentor. Of course, you need to make sure you
Jack Boys!
Take an eye on this action. Jack Boys, he was not prepared. He was farming away where his team wasn't. They all just went through the Twin Gate.
Definitely should have
sticking
followed
around.
them.
I don't know why. I mean, now this is gonna... Surely bad things are to follow, but you can only follow us for good things if you press !F and get on all of Fissure's social media. If you're watching on Twitch, scroll down, get the banner. Give you a nice little link.
Not the hero
that was a nice
lose.
little pick off. Falcons, they are so happy about that one.
Jowl get a little free. Oh no, he just wait. What? Did he just ping the Radiant Shrine of Wisdom? Oh, no one took their shrine. Okay. Little mistakes there. Falcon will get the Tormentor. That's a nice shard to get. All their shards are nice, honestly.
Yeah.
A blast with the stun. Just a little bit more control, a little bit more catch for the very fast heroes of Boom.
We've been talking about how Boom are equipped with fast heroes, equipped with a pace lineup. The pace is barely putting one foot in front of the other. They've not been able to do much this game. The 4K gold lead for Falcons. And we've seen this story before. How many times have we watched Falcons in this exact position where the game is relatively low kill, they're doing a great job controlling different sides of the map, their opponents just feel like they can't get anything done. Now Amel will find a nice angle onto Snake King. Ice Blast connects. isn't really anyone on Falcons who can follow up. He'll at least get a D-Ward before he goes down here on Snake King. That's something. But what can Boom really convert this pressure into? The rest of Falcons have already piled into the bot lane. Not much else to be found. So that's going to be Dark Ascension coming to an end just for a position 5 kill, basically.
Yeah, and Color out, right? So unless they can get more here. Speaking of get more, Mark. He has a shield rune though.
Not really looking very feasible.
Right, Boom not really able to transition this into anything, and now it's daytime. Like real daytime. Gonna go on jabs.
And up there.
Can you toss it? Can you?
Can't. He's gonna stun though. Sims is there with the block, but it's way too much damage. Okay, well,
easy.
I mean, every single time we see these kills, Falcons make it look easy. Walk up with Skeeter, easy avalanche, slow with the poison touch, and now suddenly this tier 1 tower is just forfeit.
Tower has fallen.
Game.
Why do they hurt our heart like this, Adam? Yesterday, we were watching Boom. They looked great against Wildcard. 2-0. Okay, nice. We can send a Southeast Asian team forward. And then we get to Talon. They pick Mars off lane. Not sure what that was about. Same thing that lost Falcons that game number 1. And then they pick Phoenix off lane and they try the gyro both times. This gyro hero, it's just not pulling its weight in this patch. I mean, it does still remain to be seen. Maybe they can prove me wrong, but for now, they're just losing hero after hero on the map, and there's not a move they can make. You want to play pace with this gyro, but he's not really able to join many of the fights. Setup is there, Amel will go down again. Dow can only do so much.
This
Dow might
is
just die.
Falcons' best formation, right? The 1-3-1. Always see in all the games that they succeed. The sweeping of Marine Snake and crit. Eventually Snake's gonna be into some lane farming and then they change it up. Just their formula, and it's looking good this game.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Boom
Dire's
definitely
middle
tested
tower
them in that game number 1, but Falcons might be fatigue setting in over the many tournaments happening in the past few months, but more games equals more data for Mr. Awi 2000. You just give that man enough time, he's gonna crack something. So I can't help but feel like all these experiences, regardless of whether Falcons look like they're against the ropes or not, just gonna be more points of learning for Falcons to really get to that solidified point in their meta, in how they want to play. They might be able to reach a similar consistency as we're used to seeing from them. For now, still a little bit shaky. That's how they found themselves in this situation so far, but Boom kind of losing traction after that game number 1 success.
There's just no real damage being poured in right now. I mean, obviously Jack Boys can get to this point where he is Omega strong, but what about the rest of the heroes? What about his scaling on his Coddle? This Night Stalker, he's close to BKB, had a tough laning phase. I think he's doing pretty okay, but is it really enough? No, it's BKB by the way.
Forcing the pop there. Not really ideal. 9-second used, but hangs on to his life.
Yeah, small wins, we take those. Both teams, 20 minutes soon. Amar's been pretty quiet on the Dazzle too. Has the dagger now, going for BKB Pike next. Pretty chill game for Falcons, honestly. I feel like their game's very simple, right? Like even this Tiny with Shadow Blade, she's off the map farming. Like you're kind of scared of this AA Blast coming in with this Tiny.
What was I doing?
Radiant's
Boom.
top
They wanna
tower
hunt.
is under attack.
It's nighttime. So if there's any time for them to strike, this is what they will be waiting for, in tandem with the BKB timing from the Night Stalker. That's so hard. Who do they look for?
A
Nice
nice
blast.
blast. Trying to help Crit scout out the Ancients a little. Both teams kind of have Rosh in mind right now, I think. Especially jabs with his BKB timing. Falcon also very aware of this though. Not really leaving the area, but also not putting too many heroes here. Ward that spots out Crit.
I mean, look, we've just been looking at these heroes for the past 5-10 minutes. Apart from one or two nice pickoffs from Falcons across the map, it's just nothing is being done right now. There isn't anything they can find. Ma would be such a juicy target, but they narrowly miss out. Malrine could be bigger, but pops the BKB, gets a double barrel strike. That's a good setup. He's winding up the epi, but there's the BKB from Jabs, ready to duel in. There isn't really much follow-up they can throw into this Sand King anymore, though. He's a bit too far away. Teams will find the real Amar body. It's not that hard to locate, but the question is, how do you kill it? Just walks back to safety. The whole time, Skeeter is just pushing the bot lane.
It's not even bothered to come, and that's Dark's Ascension used.
Is under attack.
Call out as well. Boom, they're not gonna get anything from this. All they get is the Malrine BKB pop. Some ancient stacks, I guess. One stack for your call. In this game, yeah, 8k goal lead for Falcons, 64%. Skeeter's so close to his BKB too. Where's the damage gonna come from?
The avenues for Southeast Asia to continue on in this tournament starting to close out here. Falcons get closer and closer to their ideal formation. BKB next on Amar. It's gonna make him even tougher to take down. And this Ricky, maybe we needed to see it in the position 4, because for now, Tim's, he's not really able to get much done. And that's not even his fault, just because the rest of the team has been so static. They haven't really made moves around the map. You're relying on your Koto and your Night Stalker to maybe have had a bit of a better lane and start dominating there. Bring Jackie in, start controlling things. They haven't found any opportunity at all.
This feels like there's no opportunity to find other than that kill on Snake that they had to Night Stalker out, Coddle out for. Snake got the decoy. It's like, okay, cool. Here we are. The only good news for Boom is that his net worth lead isn't really growing, which means the game is kind of slowed down. Malrine has been setting up a bit more than farming. As you can see, Armel's kind of ticking past him in the net worth ever so slightly. But again, you're a call against Sand King. I'm not sure. Is this really good enough for you? I think Jabs is the one that the net worth matters on the most, I think.
As classic Falcons, right? You look at maybe Malrine starting to lose out in terms of the net worth. Look at the Dazzles farm. Ma's been scaling up. It remains to be seen later on in the fights whether he'll have the same amount of trouble, because Jabs, in his game, last game as the Dazzle, he managed to get quite a fair few bit of items as well. But when that smoke screen came out, nothing really mattered. I think the difference is that this time round, Boom don't quite have the same amount of jump and burst pressure. And they find Snake King. By some time with the Essence Ring, just walked into the wrong part of the woods. But again, that's another Dark Ascension used, and he might not go down. Turn around, the Ice Blast, is he living? He's... Oh man, that's got to stay. Snake King, he's having a laugh. He's having a good time, he knows. This Night Stalker is having a horrendous time. This voice line's gonna come out, but I believe he might be talking about his own nightmares. Maybe being dropped out of another tournament.
Falcons setting up on next. They saw Tim saw crit in the Invis rune. He's just going for red though. Boom. I don't know if you wanna be here, Boom.
Trying to roach? What are they doing? There's a full-on epi onto Tims. He's resisting a lot of the damage, and just the pure physical, it's gonna force Malrine back. My goodness, his HP disintegrated. Not sure what that was about, but a bit more wary. That's a defensive BKB pop.
Just ate a Coddle Blast together with the Dagon and some flat cannon hits. Tim's also getting out of there thanks to a Glimmer from Zhao. Looks like he took no damage actually.
Yeah, right? Like he was standing there, I was like, okay, at some point his HP starts disappearing.
That's BKB TP, I think. Oh, I thought wrong.
He does not have a TP.
Rocket on him.
He's dead? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, here comes the grave. Gonna buy him some time. Can they keep the chase going on? Tims is on him. Barrel strike off the mark. A bit awkward, but Tims is a support Ricky, and he doesn't have the damage. Now it's Jack Boy's turn to have the BKB and run. Tims is under so much trouble, but he's gonna be able to pop a Lotus. Full-on escape now for Boom. They chased a bit too far, and Tims will pay the price for it. This time his HP disappears. The Falcons able to punish. Skeeter survives.
There was so much heal from the grave. My god, he was 800 HP after the grave ended. Dude, they had 5 heroes on the Tiny, and I don't know, I guess that's just the story of the game right now, right? That's how far Boom is behind. Lack of physical damage. There's a fight without the Night Stalker, without Dark Ascension too, so Square just able to walk away and kind of drag everything out as much as he can.
Look at that fight recap a bit earlier as well. Close to 5k damage being done by Falcons while, you know, boom, they were chasing that Tiny for a hot minute. They just don't have the firepower to take him down. Just do it. That's the problem with this hero, right? Insurmountable facet. You got 3k HP. The only real stat item that you have is maybe a harpoon BKB. That's about it. But this hero is so naturally tanky, it's borderline impossible to bring him down.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what Boom can do right now. So scouting things out. Okay. Not popping out this time like that.
Womp womp. Sound of each one of the hits. Imps just destroyed it. You don't have that smoke screen to stop him. Peter? We'll come through. Just turn around, pop the BKB. There's a grave on him. There's going to be a fat heal on top of this Tiny as well.
Is that a bit too fast? Yeah.
Yeah, a bit too late. A bit too late. This time round, he doesn't get bailed out. No smoke screen, no problem. Peter slipping up just a little bit here, and that might lead to more. Dark Ascension means that Aurora, oh, not Aurora, sorry, got confused a bit by the tag. Hold that thought, Amar's going to commit back in with the BKB, they double pop it, they're onto Jackie. This Gyro is in big trouble, and he just gets destroyed.
Dazzle hurts.
Oh my god, Amar, he is such a menace. Gonna get taken down here slowly but surely. Maybe he's overcommitted, but perhaps that's worth it? I'm not too sure. Now Crit has to try and TP out, but again, the dead shot there. I'm not gonna miss it this time. Yao isn't gonna miss it either. Spirit Vessels continue to tick. Get a couple of nice kills. They trade out 2 cores for it. But that tiny Dazzle kill, those are huge. Boom are not ready to lose just yet.
Yeah, looks good. Unfortunately, they do lose the Gyro, and I still think it's a super hard Gyro game, but Armel's been doing better than I expected. His Dagon really paying off. Just so much burst damage every fight. Really able to force the BKBs as well. It's also because of the way that the fight start, right? Like, it's really just Falcons running in on some hero that's not the Coddle, and then Armel has this like good old time dragging it out, a lot of blasts coming out, a lot of just Dagons, Vessels, a lot of damage being pumped out.
Falcons might need to start shifting gears and looking for this Coddle, because if he gets 1 or 2 rounds blasts off on the Dagon, he's upgrading that bad boy. We'll see a replay of this again. And see the commitment there. Amar makes the call. Blink BKB. He's like, let's blow up this Gyro. He's way in over his head. And Amar might have been right, but look at Armel on the bottom of your screen. Gabs is taking the attention, a huge little blast away, and now Amar's in a really bad spot. Even though it's just Armel and the 2 supports, they have enough to take him down. Jump onto Crit as well, who tries to TP out, but Zhao says no. Nice little setup there. Snake King's a bit too low to come back into the fight. Malrine doesn't have much else as well, so give it up. Yeah, I mean, all that really just starts because Skeeter, overestimating himself a little bit on the front lines, ends up dying before he can Grave TP out. Suddenly, boom, some signs of life here. The Falcons, they are still at an 8k gold advantage, and it still feels like they're the ones in control this game, but if you don't deal with Armel in these fights and he's able to drag it out, like you said, there's an opportunity. Dark Ascension coming out, not sure what that exactly was looking for. The Falcons already retreating all the way up to their tier 2 in the bot lane.
I don't know, what is this out? Chaps? It's like the Hilary went into smoke and then he popped out. Is that not weird? I think that's so weird.
Yeah, a bit strange. They still will find Amar though. This is a Dazzle with a BKB. Can't force to pop his own. Just holding on to it. Amar, my goodness, the discipline on this guy. Still turn around at the very last moment. Malrine gonna get that barrel strike in. Tim saved by the Glimmer for now. The smoke screen coming out. Catching Malrine off and forcing the BKB pop. And Falcons, they are really playing to the margins here. I swear I thought that Dazzle was dead, but he pops it at the very last minute.
You say the same about Tim's, both just living on like a sliver of health. When these fights, they look way more even than I thought they will. I feel like this game is just kind of simple, like stun equals die, but not follow up, I guess.
Look at Amar, he had BKB this entire time. I thought for sure he'll pop it to dodge the damage from the blast. He's still under the smoke screen, and Tims narrowly misses out on that kill. That's a last minute boost from the Shadow Wave. Malrine tries to set up, but very quickly realizes with Jack Boys on the front line, he can't face up against them. He backs up.
This might be a little irrelevant, but I think something we did talk about is like how fast these heroes are, right? It's like this Night Stalker call Gyro. Every time Malrine stuns and epis, it feels like they're already kind of out of vicinity once you start finishing up the charge.
Yeah. They can move quick. They really need to start chaining these stuns. Maybe a Bramble follow-up. Maybe an avalanche over their heads. This Malrine alone is not going to cut it, even with his Shivas. And they spot him out. They know there's no BKB. Nice terrorize from Crit. Keeping two away and will finish off Tims, allowing Malrine to turn around, burrow, explode. Not the projection from a mile away. Coming in to help as well. That's when we thought they had found a nice catch. It's now Boom on the run, and he's going to try and cut them off. Look for a target, avalanche off the mark, TP's out, and they'll even poke at him with a Dagon, but Jack Boys, he's caught by a Bramble. Does crown onto Amel. They'd love to take down the Coddle, but maybe they'll settle for the person on the front lines first. Jack Boys popping the BKB and TPing out. No way to stop that. And boom, they got to thank their lucky stars they managed to escape there.
What killed Tims? I didn't catch that. Was it a Dazzle kill?
I think the Dazzle just came out of the projection and just started beating his ass up. I'll be real with you.
It was like in the middle of like 10 creeps is what it looked like, and the heal came out and Tims just melted. What looked like a pretty free Malrine kill is now turning into Roshan for Falcons. Yo-oh.
That's all they need. It was a beautiful terrorize from Crit as well. So ready for that setup.
So much damage from this. I want to say supporting cast, but Crit and Mar have been doing so much this game. Snake as well with the Ice Blast.
Radiant are scanning.
Now we did talk about how, Boom, very active decision to give over Tiny, Dazzle, as well as AA in a draft. And so far, we've yet to really see the answer. The Ricky Shard, you just have yet to really find a mark. The only time you've killed him is when he blinked in with BKB. I don't reckon he'll be doing much of that anymore. Probably learned his lesson.
Probably. Tormentor for the Sand King. Cool little shard. Some more pulses in there. Boom. Just hanging on. There's like 11k lead, but his fights, based on net worth and heroes, I feel like these fights should be so much easier for Falcons, but Boom just doing a really good job of playing things by the edge. I think Tims especially being super annoying with these smokes.
You can't count on Falcons as well, right? As long as they can stay in this formation. Isn't really a viable target for Boom to take down. Seeing the problems and probably the reason why Amel built up this Dagon, they are lacking in terms of the burst damage to cut through these tanky heroes.
Revenant Brutes now done for Tiny. And scaling very well on Skitter. I just feel like Falcons need one fight, but it feels like Boom needs, what, 2-3 fights maybe? They are getting to that point though. I think they're not like super weak by any means. Jabs is scaling in. Eventually they will get to their items, but Falcon ain't having it.
At that Aegis, I want to put it to work. 40 more seconds until it's daytime. Real daytime, that is. Of course, Dark Ascension still has to be considered, but still, that will give you much more of an advantage moving out on the map in safety.
With Boom here, they don't just make a move towards the shrine, right?
Pulling Skeeter. And he just dies on the first line. Now, Knock-Up Projection is going to start doing a little bit of work, but it's a bit too far away from the main Dazzle. Pump our last few auto attacks onto the heroes of Boom, but just like that, Falcons have to retreat.
Farming damage. See how fast Skeeter dies though. Yeah, you kind of need a blink this game. Like, just go in. Might be wrong. See what he chooses to do. Going for the MKB. Smoke screen, super annoying. Nothing new.
Yeah.
He has a Glimmer queued up.
On Skater.
Yeah.
Scanning.
Just Glimmer yourself every time you get solar binded. Fair to play. I feel like I want someone to get a Lotus for him.
I guess the idea, it comes back to this Ricky Shard, right? It really messes with your itemization, because if you don't have it for yourself, your allies can't put it on you if the smoke screen's already out. And I guess you have to preemptively Lotus every single time you're about to go in.
It sounds pretty doable, right? Because he is hitting towers, so he just lows before he reaches the tower. Just buy out the Glimmer though. See what Falcon choose to do here. Snake, very small.
Away from his team. No sector to buy the time. PP out. Too much magic damage to look the wall. They found the real body on the mark. Can they do much else here though? Tims is gonna evaporate. Have a buyback available. He'll come back into the fight. They found the real Amar and they'll kill him. Oh no, boom. Starting to come back in this game just a little bit. These moves from Falcons in the past 5 minutes have not really worked out for them.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
You got to keep in mind as well that that was an Aegis Tiny that was sieging the tier 2. He just gets pulled in, evaporated, and now he's found again. He's going to glimmer himself to give himself a little bit of resistance, maybe not wanting to pop that BKB just yet.
Radiant's top tower.
You're going to keep chasing here, Boom. Gotta be so careful about the Malrine setup. Her the epicenter pops out. Not doing any damage on the Zhao. He has that Gale Guard to keep himself safe. Malrine, that Muerta's invulnerable.
Glimmer OP. Both of them living because of the Glimmer. That's a full epicenter, I think.
Yeah, literally. He just fully channeled the epi onto Zhao and Zhao just kind of walked it off with the Gale Guard.
I guess he just didn't have mana for the Sanking and for the Burrow Strike and the Sandstorm.
Reminder, in case you're forgetting what you're looking at, you're watching the official stream of Fissure Universe episode 4, brought to you by Fissure Studios. Win probability still in the favor of Falcons despite some of those mishaps in the past few minutes.
Jackboy's still going back for a Satanic. Okay, I like this because I think they're getting to a point in the game where it's not as straightforward to like land Ice Blast on Gyro anymore. We see a lot of fights where Snake's kind of dying in the fights and Jackboy's still alive. I think Boom's been doing a really good job of just not letting the pickoffs happen.
Yeah. I mean, in an ideal world for Falcons, they want to initiate with either Skeeter or Malrine, get an Ice Blast on top, and then Northel Projection can just chase them all away. But the way that Boom have been playing, I guess it's a bit weird to say, but these preemptive Dark Ascension pops have been helping them out a lot, right? It allows them to spot out Snaking, allows them to see the setup coming from a mile away. And look at the hero damage coming out from Amel. Just when we were talking about how much work Amar is doing, it's Amar versus Amel this game.
Where the conversation started. That's how you should end it. I think it's also a fact that I think Jeff just understands that his team needs to see things to play. Like if they get initiated on course, they actually just lose. I think whether it's Coddle, Gyro, or Night Stalker, if they get started on with one stun by any of the cores, they just kind of can't fight from there because the A blast plus the damage coming in from anyone is just way too much to fight into. Skeeter, Silver Edge complete now. We're doing really well. Armel, what's Armel going for? I feel like he's been playing so well this game.
Yeah, that Octarine core now. That's his next item. Even more spells being pumped out. Smoke out in broad daylight. Trying to catch Falcons off guard. They know that this area around their base is being guarded loosely. That's how Falcons like to play. They jump onto the Amel. That's a huge catch. Amel, he needs to get out of here. Forced off away. Crit still trying to connect. Ice Blast landing onto the Gyro. This is troublesome. But where is the rest of Falcons? They aren't able to connect at the moment. The protection coming in, beating into Jackboys. He's hiding away, popping the BKB, facing off into Skeeter. Skeeter's a bit too far forward now. The kill, it's not going to be enough. Amel, he's helping out and Skeeter goes down. The Tiny's out of the picture and Amel now. He popped the BKB a bit earlier. He's getting the heals. He's away, but the epicenter still finishes him off. Malrine, he's still pretty deep. The Grave's going to save him. Amar is standing tall. And you don't have a buyback available. No, you do. But he doesn't want to pop it just yet. Up to the high ground. Tims goes down and the BKB. Amar, he's going to try and TP out, but he gets cancelled on the last moment. Oh my god. That fight was so close. It was so close. And it was a dream start for Falcons. It was Boom who were the ones looking for an avenue, but Amel gets caught first. It still doesn't stop him from doing so much damage, but he's not the main character anymore. It's Jackboys. He's doing so much work as this Gyro.
Man, it's also just don't follow up, right? Like Skeeter got the initiation, sure, but after a stun toss, there was no Sanking stun coming in, there's no Ice Blast. It was crit with the Terrorize, but even then, Armel like walked away from that.
Jackie, and maybe you're getting a bit too ambitious here. Ice Blast with Malrine initiation, that's always going to be painful. And
fucking god.
Jackie, what are you doing? I no respect, right? That's just...
No respect indeed. And suddenly, I mean, I guess the game's still pretty even, but that's a buyback on jabs. So Dragon Wade and Fire. Big kill for Marine. Close to his Aghanims now too. 25 as well, not to forget.
Yikes.
What talent did he go for? Sandstorm
He is
blind.
on the epicenter pulses.
I guess it makes sense with his build. He's optimizing to do damage here.
Yeah. I mean, this game is slowly becoming... Not slowly. It's just a situation where now if your BKB charges are already used and you've yet to win the fight on Boom, it's going to be very tricky to defeat Falcons. If you're not eliminating Malrine, he's going to pump out so much magic damage in these fights. Not even sure whether the Gyro can stand up against it, especially with the help of the AA amplifying all of it.
You also see Skir's damage, right? Like the previous fight against Jack Boys, it was so much. It was kind of crazy. It was like 1v5ing. Everyone just had to run away from him. But these Glimmers, the 4 staffs, it's a bane in his existence for sure. Nope, Zhao might be in trouble here. Nope.
Jeez. He is pretty close to that Aghanims though. Once he gets those dead shots, the fear is gonna be really huge. He already has level 20, so he has 2 of those charges. If you kind of just push the Tiny or get the Sand King out of position, it could be very valuable.
Both teams just kind of chilling for the Roche spawn. Boom are gonna be required to make a move out because Falcon has all the map control right now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And both teams, they know how important this area is. Aegis means a lot. The burst from Falcons, not able to deal with 2 lives on the Gyro. Meanwhile, I think Falcons need the Aegis to end the game. High ground, super hard against this Coddle, Muerta, Ricky, Smokescreen.
Yeah. I mean, even with the Aegis, it could prove to be quite difficult here.
Radiant's top tower.
Roche is up now. Falcons, they'll have the priority in terms of position. Crit spotting it out, so they just head over to the pit, and it seems like Boom, they're not confident to just run up into the dark map and try and contest.
Definitely an easy goal. Falcons will get this for free. Dazzle almost 25 as well for Skitter, so a lot more spikes coming in.
For a wraparound play, they're not going to gamble with their chances on the high ground. They're going to try and get the jump instead. Put Falcons in an awkward position. Amar gets spotted out first. That could be a good
in a good spot though.
He's in troublesome. Who's in a good spot? Skeeter is getting some pressure on the back line, pushing teams back. Both teams have to back up for now. Well, that looked like Amar was dead for sure, but manages to pop the BKB, escape back out to safety. Dark Ascension was used, and looks like Malrine was able to catch a onto Zhao. He's down the front lines. You gotta keep in mind, he still has that second life, so you gotta be wary. You don't want to overcommit and get caught. Crit. They have the Yule set up. Gets Hex for it, but here comes the stun. Here comes the setup. They're looking at Jack Boys. He still has the BKB holding on to it for now.
Oh, he didn't Satanic.
Satanic didn't BKB just yet. Will turn and fight. Take the first life of Skeeter. Watch out for this Gyro. Crit still being so annoying on the front lines, trying to initiate. But they managed to fish Jackie out of there. And most importantly, he did not need to use the BKB.
I don't know if you can stop this though. I guess the smoke screen is a bane of your existence when it comes to sieging high ground, but Skier does so much damage.
There's a sandstorm covering him. Arise available.
Trying to find an angle, team's like, nope, I learned my lesson.
Gonna have to go behind the tower to try to get this one.
Mary?
He just blinks in. He knows that he's so well protected by his squad right now. Still 9 more seconds without the Muerta. Can you really commit for this rack? This is a bit of a precarious position.
They have Grave TP.
Amar hitting into it.
They have Grave BKB TP if he really wants to do this.
Looks like he does. Doing a lot of damage here. Oh, he does? Moves away. That was good.
Marines in, oh my god!
Malrine with the setup! Gets them caught out! Oh, they thought, oh, this Tidy's gonna go away. Malrine is in! And Malrine's ready to end the game. Oh, he's ready to go on to the playoffs. Just catching them completely by... Even I didn't see that one coming.
That was fucking
Right here on the front line. Able to blink out. And, I mean, this is going to be a Rex at minimum. They can look towards the second if they heal up. What a play from Malrine.
There's a full-
Buyback available on the gyro, but the full epi optimizing for his damage, like you said, and just completely catches the gyro off guard.
There was Epi and Ice Blast, that's all. That's what he died to. There was literally no other damage source coming in. Check, boys. He was so close to living though. The Glimmer almost saving him, but that's 50 seconds without your gyro right now. Falcons, they smell victory.
Smell the playoffs here. Smell a nice little turnaround for themselves in the group stage. Ice Blast on top, bossing the BKB, Dark Ascension from Night Stalker. They're trying to kill the main Dazzle, but he just comes back to the main body. Glimmer. Someone falls down to the low ground. Okay. Okay. He has the Hurricane Pike himself. I thought he was toast there.
Skidder looks like he doesn't want to respect this Dark Ascension too much. Meta's still down. So
Here's
confident.
Great backing him up. He's feeling very ready to put an end to this. At least gets the Rex. Gets out.
This
1.5
Glimmer is
lanes left.
so clutch. I feel like this Glimmer Skidder is such a big purchase this game.
So smart too.
Oh, Melrine. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? There's the refresher in the backpack. He's smoked up now.
Oh dear.
Falcons.
Back boys. Back boys. You gotta
They're
be careful.
the
They're
epi.
winding up the epi. They're looking at him. In comes the barrel. Where's the save? He's getting melted. The gyro gets brought down to earth and the immediate refresh. The barrel strike forward. Malrine's ready to close this one out. Triple kill. And good game is called. Boom. They had such a convincing game, number one, but Falcons will not be denied from the playoffs.